So thank you guys for coming. Special guest Kevin Baker. He is from Remax, so he doesn't budge, despite what you might think.
Don't hold it against me.
You spot.
We won't.
Okay, so
There is a Keller Williams office in Kitchener, though. Jim's been trying for years to get me.
So Kevin's going to be talking about direct response marketing and online marketing. So kind of combining the both and what you've done to systematize your business and grow your business and get in your sleep. So Kevin, I'll let you take it from there. And what we're going to do is he'll do the presentation and we'll ask questions at the end. If you guys have any questions or insights you want to share, we'll have an open discussion.
I'll stay as long as you want. All right, I'm going to turn my phone off. There we go. Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Ryan actually invited me to talk about direct response, but we kind of chatted about it and realized that that wouldn't be a complete hour. So he said, well, why don't you talk about everything that you do? So I've done, I presented at Rebar in Toronto in October, I think. Is anybody there? Nobody there? I presented in Woodstock a couple years ago. Nobody there either? So my shtick is internet marketing. That's predominantly what I do. Started about 4.5 years ago, and it's a story about a girl everybody wants to know. I was at a bar. I was single. I met a nice lady. We connected, and then the next day she tried to find me, but she couldn't find me online. And a couple days later, she kind of tracked me down because she knows a realtor. And I kind of had my aha moment. And it was if she's looking for me and can't find me online, what happens to all these people that aren't looking for me? How are they supposed to find me online? So I spent the next 4.5 years of my real estate career building my online business and my systems to feed my business. So my workload has went from here to here. My income has went from here to here. And life is good. So I'm here to share that. I'm not going to sell you guys anything, so there's no pitch at the end, right? It's just, everybody's like waiting for the sales pitch, right? There's no pitch at the end. I'm doing this as a favor to Ryan because we both kind of work in the same world. So I'm just here to share and answer your questions. So now I have a website, now what? So how many in the room have a website? I'm assuming everybody's hands are going to go up. How many in the room don't have a company website? Nobody. Yeah, Ryan doesn't.
I don't have one that's provided by the company?
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay, so that's good, right? The people that sign up for those company websites are paying, what, $50, $60 a month to have a website. And the question is, do they really work, right? Are they generating business for you? So we wake up every morning unemployed. That's my philosophy on real estate. And our number one job is to find more customers. There's lots of ways to do that. This is the old school ways, right? This is the spend the lots of money ways. Real estate book. I don't know if you guys have that here, but we have that in Kitchener-Waterloo. We have 4 magazines, print magazines in Kitchener-Waterloo. So where do you put your money? We have 2 weekly papers, which that's where we advertise our listings in, but we don't do any magazine print at all. And I only do the weekly papers because my business partner likes it. She's old school. She likes to make sure that the sellers are happy. So that's why we do that. Otherwise, I wouldn't do any of that either. But what you find with print ads is very expensive. So my question is, what if I could show you how to have a website for $30 a year that works? Right? Not $50 a month, not $10 a month, but $30 a year. Again, not a Band-Aid solution or a quick fix. Ryan and I were chatting about how long it takes for something to convert. And the old adage was it was seven touches, right? If you do a direct response piece to a farm area, it's kind of, 10 years ago, it would take 7 months in order for that to start converting. Now the number is 18 months to start converting. So what I do is not, if you guys come today to think you're going to double your business tomorrow, then you may as well go out and continue cold calling because it's not going to happen. What I do is going to take probably 12 to 18 months to start to convert. But once you got the pipeline built and the systems built, again, my workload's been cut in half. I work probably 25 hours a week, and I make in excess of $100,000 a year. So I spend most of my daytime day trading the market, to be honest with you, like the stock market. So proof's in the pudding. So I started processing late 2009. My stats for 2012 were 40% online deals. For 2013, there were 50% online deals. My gross commission is up 275% in the last 3 years. And my total business over 2012 was up 13% over last year. And I did this back in October, so that's with 2.5 months left. I didn't actually update it at all. We also had one client with a $1 million for it. That's back in October. So here's kind of the premise. So you got the consumer. Everybody knows social media, right? Facebook, Twitter. I hope you guys are all on that because it's a great way to generate realtor referrals. I do about 30% realtor referrals too. So I get a lot of business from my RE/MAX colleagues and from other colleagues in town. I got 2 referrals from Ryan this year so far. So consumer, and then social media, my blog sites, and I have more than one. That all filters down to my websites, and then the customers contact you from there. So the 2 questions that I want you to answer is, how are we going to get people to find your site without listings, and how are you going to convert the prospects to contact you other than info on your listings? I'm assuming there's some big producers in here, so you might have 10, 15, 20, 30 listings at a time, right? That's great. You're going to get traffic. You're going to get buyers calling you because you have the inventory. But if you only have 1 listing or no listings, how are the people going to call you, right? Where are you going to get that traffic from? So you want to get consumers to find you. So it all starts with a domain name. I have KitchenWaterlooHomesOnline.com, KitchenWaterlooConosOnline.com, KWConosandLofts.com, KWHomeTeam.ca, right? They're all keyword-specific sites. So KWConosandLofts.com, if someone is searching for condos or lofts in KW, then my site's going to pop up, right? Usually on the first page. I don't focus on the Kitchener-Waterloo big market. I focus on KW. Because like Burlington, you have Burlington, right? Guelph is Guelph, Oakville's Oakville. Kitchener-Waterloo, we're 1 city, even though we're 2 cities. So you can't, it's much more difficult for us to focus on that. So I just use the KW because a lot of people search with KW. So I kind of niched it down to just that. So I talk about what's in a domain name. The biggest mistakes agents make is they make their own websites about them. Your website should not be about yourselves. Any of your marketing should not be about yourself. I don't believe your picture should be on it. Your contact information, yes, because they need to have a way to find you, but don't brand yourself. Your website's about providing information. It's the whole WIFM concept, what's in it for me. Be an information provider, be an educator, be an expert, because people won't use you until they know you, like you, and trust you, right? If you're going to, John Smith, you have a billboard on the highway, call John Smith, I'm the #1 realtor in town. That's going to work, I guess, for John Smith if he's up there long enough and he pays enough money. But, they don't know John Smith, so you want to connect with the consumer, you want to provide information, you want to be that go-to guy so that when they're ready to buy or ready to sell, they're going to call you. And that's talking about direct response. Like, the whole premise today is most people about direct response, and that's kind of where that's at. So be an information provider. Put out the content. By providing information on different topics, you'll position yourself as an expert in the field. And try to own everything. Like, do any of you guys pay for stuff? Like, do you have an SEO company that handles your SEO? Do you guys know what SEO means? No? Okay. You guys know Google, right? Okay. Do you know YouTube? Do you know that Google owns YouTube? Right? Do you know that YouTube's awesome for SEO? Right? It's a great way. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. So when people are going to jump onto the internet to search something, you got choices. You got Bing, right? You got Yahoo, you got Google, but Google's the biggest. So they're going to jump on Google and they're going to search something, and they're going to search condos in Kitchener for sale, or condos and lofts in KW for sale, and guess whose site pops up? Mine, right? If you search Seagram's, if you guys got your iPads or your smartphones, search Seagram's Lofts in Waterloo. I'll guarantee you that my site pops up, and I'll probably be #1 on the first page. Okay, so that's how I niche market that. But use those tools to generate traffic to your website and provide content to get there. So I shoot videos from my car, and I'm talking about condo market, I'm talking about real estate market. I shot a video on how to stop birds from pooping on your deck. right? Because you put snakes out and they stop pooping, supposedly.
You put snakes in?
Yeah, you put snakes on your deck, and the birds won't poop on it. I don't know why it works, but it does.
You won't want to go there either.
No, but it's actually my most watched video, which is kind of cool. So I've shot 100 videos from my car. Just they're 35 seconds, a minute, just me talking about something, right? Doesn't really matter what I'm talking about as long as it sounds intelligent and I'm relaying information. Then I use that video and I set it up with the keyword search. I talk about what's in it. I tag it with Kitchen Waterloo homes for sale or Kitchen Waterloo condos for sale or whatever, and then put it up on YouTube. I put it into my website as well, and everything directs back to my website, so that when people are on YouTube searching or searching Google, because Google picks up those videos, right? Videos rank higher than text. So if they're going to search how to stop birds from pooping on your deck, my video is going to be number one, right? Or Seagram's Lofts. If someone's shot a video about a Seagram's Loft, their video will pop up higher than or rank higher than my website will because it's a video. There's more content there. Google reads that differently. So create information. I know it's going to all take time, and Ryan and I talk about this. So you have two choices. You can spend money or you can spend time. And they're the same thing, right? If you guys figure out what you get paid, you can pay $50 an hour, $100 an hour, right, selling real estate, or you can pay somebody $150 to do that 3-hour task for you, or you can do it yourself for $150, right? So it just depends on where you put your priorities, I guess. So put posts out on your own, comment on other blogs, get involved in the conversation, like Facebook. Like, you guys are all on Facebook, right? Anybody on Twitter? Anybody not on Facebook and Twitter? Thank God. Okay. Get involved in conversations. Don't just go down the page and like. Get in there and talk, right? Create conversations with people because that's where it's memorable. And that's how you're going to stay top of mind. And same with this. I have conversations on my blog site with consumers, back and forth, right? And I don't know them. I'm just having a chat with them. So build a community. Blogging exposes you and your brand to people that you don't know. I've done countless deals with people I have no idea who they were before I met them. I'm listing a condo loft, a Kaufman loft in Kitchener next week to a guy that lives in California. I'm never going to meet him because he lives in California, but I'll do the whole deal online, and I've met him through my website. I've put buyers and sellers together on a Seagram's loft, which was $18,000 in gross commission. I met the seller online, I met the buyer online, and I put them together to buy that unit. So this stuff really does work. It just takes a bit of effort and time to get it there. So anyway, about the post, keep it relevant, keep it interesting, keep it related to the prospect. Focus on types of real estate, geographical areas, specific demographics, realtor-related topics, et cetera, et cetera. You can write something. If you don't like getting in front of a camera, then write something. Steal something, right? My mortgage broker puts out stuff every week, and I have not an agreement, but I just tell her, Tracy, I'm taking that information, I'm going to put it on my website. So I just cut and paste and put it on my website. So you don't have to write yourself. You can go online, you can research, pick a neighborhood in town, right, in Burlington, Burlington, whatever. Google it, find a good article, cut and paste it, right? Or write a little bit about yourself and then link it back so you get backlinks, right? That works great too. YouTube, obviously, that's what I use. But again, if you're not comfortable in front of a camera or you don't want to get in front of the camera, then obviously YouTube's not going to work for you. There's things to talk about. Stats on the Canadian local market, information on upcoming events. You can link an article, do some micro-niche articles, neighborhood information, condo-specific buildings, general information. It doesn't have to be about real estate. It can be about anything you want. Like the bird pooping on the deck idea came from me going to a friend's house, hanging by their pool on a Saturday afternoon, and their autistic son said, Kevin, how do you stop birds from pooping on your deck? And I'm like, I have no idea, Brandon, how you do that. Well, you could put snakes on it, right? And I said, you know what, I'm going to do a blog post about that, and I'm going to give a shout out to you on Facebook. And he was like livid. He couldn't believe it. He's like, oh, this is awesome, right? So next day I did the blog post, and I shouted it back out through Facebook to Brennan, and he loved it, and everything was great. So it doesn't have to be real estate related. It can be about anything. It's just creates a conversation. And that's the business that we're in. We're in the business of relationships. So whether you start that relationship by me coming up to you and saying, hi, my name's Kevin Baker, right? Nice to meet you. You know, are you thinking about buying, you know, the whole crap, script stuff? I'm not a script guy, so it doesn't matter. You know, or you create conversations the other way, which I just do them online, right? Because I'm a busy guy. I have a huge family. So I like working from my phone and from home, right? So I'm not the going out and having drinks at a club and the parties and the socialites. I like going to the soccer games and doing all that kind of stuff. I just do it all online, most of it anyway. So that's a picture of my one of my videos that I shot for my car. You know, BlackBerry in the Kitchener real estate market. I'm from Kitchener, so we're big into the BlackBerry world, and the woes and all the good and bad stuff that happens with BlackBerry. So I shot a video on BlackBerry when they were going through the troubles, right, to keep people updated, because it's interesting to Kitchener residents, right, what's happening, because it affects our real estate market, right. So these are all, just so you know, the next slides, they're all page 1 snapshots. They don't all have page 1 at the bottom, but everything's from page 1. So if you search Kitchener Homes for Sale, that's my 2 sites on the bottom of page 1, right? This one is my house site, so the Kitchener Real Estate Life. I got 3 different names that point to that site. And same with this one, it's Kitchener Real Estate Life. That's where the KW Homes Online goes and everything, that kind of stuff too. So not just that one domain name. Wardu Homes for Sale. Again, those are the 2 Real Estate Life sites, bottom of page 1. This is Kitchener Condos for Sale. That's the tagline up there. And this is page 1. Somewhere on page 1, I have this one, this one, and this one. And this is my condo site, and this is my house site, right? Because on the condo site, I have specific, just designed for condos. That's all it talks about. And that's where about 80% of my traffic comes from. Kitchener is in its infancy in the condo market. It's not like Toronto, right? They're everywhere. We're really just starting. We have 5 loft buildings in town, and that's it. And there's new construction coming online. But I focus primarily on the 5 loft buildings because there's enough units in there to keep me busy. So I do probably 50-55% of my business is condo market, and then the other 45 is the housing market. But not all, but 80% of my traffic is coming in through the condo site. Kitchener Lofts, so that's the bottom. That's the page 1 again. Those are both both posts through. This is the condo site. This is the house site. And then there's Seagram's. So this is the top of page 1. So at this time when I took this snapshot, this guy shot a video of a Seagram's loft that he had for sale. So obviously it outranked mine, right? That video is probably gone now, so I imagine I'm probably number 1 again. But the Seagram's is my best SEO that I've ever had. And to be really honest with you, I have no idea how I did it. It just happened. And I really don't know. But when you search Seagram's Loft, I always seem to be in the top 2 on page 1. And it doesn't happen with Kaufman or Arrow or any of those other buildings. It just happened with Seagram's for some reason, which is great because I made a lot of money off Seagram's. So this is Kitchener Condos for Sale again, and those are 3 sites that I'm on, first page. And again, so there's Condos Lofts Kitchener. This is the top of the first page. So at this point in time, I had the top 3 links. And I even had that's mine too over there. And so on and so on. So anyway, so capturing attention. So narrow your focus. Ryan had a conversation about one of the agents in town in Burlington that is focusing on a really small geographical farm, which is great, right? Yes, we know who he is. And I think that's awesome, right? You can direct mail to 25,000 homes, which is great, but you're really surfacey, right? You can direct mail to 250 homes, and you can get really, really deep. And the deeper you go, the more business you're going to get, and you can control that market. So by going deep, you're probably going to make as much money as the guy doing 25,000 homes, but you're going to spend 90% less, right? Or maybe not. Maybe you'll double up, and instead of doing once a month, do once every 2 weeks, right? So you make you'll spend 45% less, but you'll make the same amount of money, right? And you'll certainly spend less time, that's for sure. So the same thing happens with the internet. Narrow your market. Don't be a little fish in a big pond. Be a big fish in a little pond, right? Go where there's fewer fishermen. Don't pick a neighborhood that has a high turnover, but has tons of agents marketing to it. Pick a neighborhood that maybe has a smaller turnover, but nobody's talking to it, like you did, right? I'm sorry, I forgot your name again. Adam, yeah, like Adam did. So same thing happens with the internet. And then, so once you build it, and you're gonna find this overwhelming because you have to build it. Sorry, but once you build it, then you start promoting it. And I took it online. I took it online through my social marketing channels. How do you capture leads? Well, you promote it through Facebook. Like my work, just so you know, just to take a step back, my websites are built through WordPress. I don't know if anybody using WordPress or not. Yeah, Ryan would be for sure, and Adam. They're all built through WordPress. WordPress is free. Okay, it doesn't cost you anything. But it does cost you $18 a month to have the domain name, or sorry, $10 a month to have the domain, sorry, $10 a year to have the domain name, and $18 a year to point it. So my websites cost me $28 a year, right? But I have to manage them, right? I have to build it. I have to put the listings on it. I have to do all that. Nothing's easy, or it costs money, right? So they're all WordPress websites. And then I promoted it through Facebook, Twitter. I don't use the rest of them. I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't use it. I'm not on Flickr, Digger, Delicious, or any of those other ones. These two are the kings, right? Even Google Circles. They were talking about that yesterday at the paperless agent that I went to yesterday, and Google Circles is dumb. Don't do it. Twitter and Facebook are really where all the eyeballs are. So again, social media. Well, Pinterest is becoming better. If you like sharing, pictures and stuff like that, but again, Facebook and Twitter are really where all the activity is happening. So use your social media, and don't use a lot of agents want the push strategy. They want to push their information. They get on Facebook and they think that they want to push all their listings onto all their friends, and your friends really don't care, right? They want to create conversations. So don't push your listings. Remind them that you're in real estate, because that's important. But Facebook is not a advertising medium. Facebook is a relationship-based medium. So don't use it as an advertising medium. If your friends have questions about real estate, absolutely talk about it. But don't sit there and push your listings out. I have my Facebook account has 1,500 people on it. Okay, not a lot, right? Because I'm a niche marketer. Some people have 5,000, which is wonderful. But I have 1,500 of them. 1,200 of them are realtors. Okay, and my strategy for Facebook was just that. I'm not on Facebook to talk to my friends. I'm on there to keep in touch with my clients. My friends already know I'm in real estate. And to talk to other realtors. So since early February, I've gotten 8 realtor referrals. That either I'm working on or haven't worked out, but I've still got them. And I was at the meeting yesterday at the paperless agent, reconnecting with people. But my focus for Facebook was that my target market was other agents, because that's where the business is going to come from. But getting back to social media, so use a pull philosophy. You want to create conversations. You want to create connections. Don't push out your listings, because it just won't work. It'll just irritate people. And if they stop following you on Facebook, you'll never know. Okay? If you think you have 5,000 friends, you probably don't. Because they can hit, not unfollow, but they can hit hide, and they'll never see your information again. But you'll still think you're friends with them. So just be careful about that. No, seriously, it's true.
You're dead to them.
You're dead to them, yeah. You won't show up. If you're on this feed and you're putting stuff on this feed and they've hit hide, you still think you're their friend, but they're not seeing anything. So, and again, I love this phrase. People use you, recommend you to people that they know, like, and trust, right? So, how do you capture leads? That's how you capture them, right there, using direct response. There's a definition. And Ryan asked me actually my definition of direct response. And my definition of direct response is providing information to people that they're wanting, and eventually looking for a reciprocal relationship, right? So the actual definition is type of marketing designed to generate immediate response from consumers, where each consumer response and purchase can be measured and attributed to the individual advertisement. That's a really good way of saying it's easy to track, but it's not really easy to track because you don't know where they're coming from. I have several different mechanisms on my websites to do direct response, and I can kind of track where they're coming from, but to me, direct response is giving away information that the consumers are asking for and not asking for anything in return, initially, right? Well, you are, because you get your name, address, and phone number, so you are getting something in return, but you want to keep providing information so that eventually they'll know, like you, and trust you, and then they'll move to the next step, which is to buy a house, right? Like you guys, any single people? Woo! Okay. Okay, so Ryan's single, right? So Ryan's not going to go to a bar and meet a girl, and then the next day ask her to marry him, right? You might.
That's why he's single.
Right? So you're going from A to B, or A to Z in one day, right? The consumers aren't going to go from A to Z in one day. They're not going to say, you know, come show me this house and I'm going to buy it tomorrow. Well, they might, but chances are not, right? You want to build that relationship, and that takes steps. And there might be 5, it might be 10, it might be 15 steps. But it all starts with direct response. So top free information, things you can give away. So consumer awareness guide, right? And that's a big book that you can put together that talks all about Burlington, right? What's great about Burlington, what's wonderful about the areas, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't work, so you know. Home selling guide, you know, top 25 things you do to sell your home. That doesn't work either. You can do them, I'm just telling you they don't work. Home buying guide, top 25 things to help you buy their next home. Or the top 10 reasons why not to use a real estate agent, right? Like, you know, I love the negative ones, right? Top 7 reasons, you know, to not look for something, blah, 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 whatever it is, right? Those don't work either. These work. 4 and 5 work. Okay, neighborhood house price report, condo building price report. The consumers are coming to you because they want to know how much their unit at Kaufman Lofts is worth. So they're going to go on the web, they're going to go on Google, they're going to search condo loft prices in Kitchener, and my website pops up, right? And then they go to my website, and then they go, okay, free condo report. Okay, let's go there. And then they go to that one, and it takes them to another page. I don't know if I have that quickly. There, okay? So they go to my website. This is the house part. They go to my website, and then they see free house report. So they go to that next page, and then there's all my house reports. Okay, so if you live in Westvale, which is an area of town, Waterloo, or Laurelwood, or Forest Heights in Kitchener, and you want to know how much your house is worth, or get a ballpark of what's sold and active in that neighborhood, you're going to click on that link, right? And there's the condo one. And that, well, I'm not sure if I have it any further. And that takes you to a landing page. And that landing page says, if you want a free report on Westvale house prices, give me your name, address, phone number, and I'll send the report out right away, right? So they click on that, and then lo and behold, my phone rings. Do I get lucky and have one right here? Not today. Anyway, my phone rings, and I get John Doe, 123 Westvale Drive, Waterloo, is asking for a Waterloo house report. Great. So then I go on Jigo Warehouse. I see how much his house is worth. I send out all the actives and all the solds in his price range. So his price plus 100,000, because our market supports, your assessment plus 100,000 usually. So I send him all those houses in that price range that are available, sold and active. Okay. And some people are going to say, well, you can't send out sold information. It's against privacy and blah blah blah. No, he just asked me for a CMA. Technically, right? If I ever got pulled off to RICO, I'd say, well, look, he asked me for a CMA. I don't have to come over to give it to him. I just have to provide the information, right? So that's what I send out. And then I put them into my CRM, and everybody should have a CRM, correct? Client retention manager, whatever it is, top producer. I use exact contact, whatever it is. put it in your CRM, and then once a month, you touch, right? And I send out, every month I send out an updated report. So if whatever's sold and active in that month, between the time you started and that time, I'd send out a new report, okay? Some I've never heard from again, right? I've been doing it for 4 years. Some are still in the pipeline 4 years later. But some convert after a month or two, right? And some convert, because I get buyers and sellers, not just sellers. I get buyers, more in the condo market, but I get buyers asking for that report. Because it's information for them too, right? I'm going to go back. So anyway, so out of this top 5 free information items you can offer, 4 and 5 do the best job. And you can offer them online or offline as well. I know that those 2 guys right back there are doing it offline. I know Ryan's doing it online too. But they're both providing reports offline, which is great. I just prefer to do it online because it's free. I'm a cheap bugger. So, right? I don't spend any more money than I have to. Like, put it this way, my whole online marketing system is like $170 a year, right? And I make over $100,000 a year, so do the numbers. There's guys out there spending $60,000 a month on, papering the whole city, and that's great. They're making way more money than I am, but they're working a hell of a lot harder too. So I do them because they're free. So what consumers want when they visit your site? So you want them to raise their hand, right? Do the direct response stuff. You want them to put up their hand and say, I want a report on Kaufman Loft. Or I want a Westville price report. Or I want a whatever you're going to put on there. 27 reasons why you should use a realtor. I don't know, whatever it is. Get them to raise their hand. Because once they raise their hand, you've got their information. Then you can start the next step, right? You've met them at the bar. Now you got to start to go on a date, right? So you're talking to them, you're sending them information, and you're not asking for stuff. I never call anybody. Yeah, I hate the phone. I don't cold call. I don't door knock because I hate the phone. So I just email. I work everything from my phone, and I'll send out the information. And I barely even email them. I follow up once I send out the initial report. I follow up 7 days later to make sure they got it. And some email back, some don't. But I never ever call, ever. I've never ever called anybody. So use direct response by making an offer for your reports. Use landing pages to connect and spark interest. Lead people. You gotta. I'm a big believer in the next step. So what's the next step? So you've got them from Google to your website. The next step is to use direct response marketing to get them to raise their hand. What's the next step? The next step is to keep in touch, right? Put them in the CRM and keep in touch until they call you. Then the next step is to start selling the house. And what's going to compel them to call? You got to become an expert in their ads. You got to captivate, interact, and convert. So there's ways to do that. My seller information is through 24hourhouseprices.com, and I've set up different, like Westville. Where is it again? Right. So Westville. So 24hourhouseprices.com/Westville. /Laurelwood, /Eastbridge Waterloo. I didn't do Eastbridge because Eastbridge is already taken by somebody else. So I used Eastbridge Waterloo. And these work great for SEO too. So if you're Googling Westville, that link works great because it comes up too, right? But if you're going to, I have buyer stuff too. So if you want to go on there and get, a free set of listings sent out to you that meet your criteria, right? I got 2 of them yesterday. And it's just, I'm looking for houses in these neighborhoods between $250,000 and $350,000. I'm looking to move in 3 to 6 months. Here's my name, email address, and phone number. Okay? And some of them I give to my buyer agent, and she calls them, which is wonderful, because I hate the phone. Or I keep them and I email them, right? And then I follow up with email. But I use Wufoo. So these are form sites that you can use to generate those forms. I use Wufoo. I know you use JotForm, right? FormStack, one big contact. But I like Wufoo. I like the top 2, but I use Wufoo because I already got it set up. I don't want to change. Maybe. So here's Consumer Awareness Guide, right? Like, this is my snapshot on my website. So there's my homes and condos for sale. There's Search All MLS Properties. So that's my buyer one. And then neighborhood house price report, condo loft report, Consumer awareness guide doesn't work. How's the market, KW, guaranteed sold programs, we have a Remax thing, never worked. This doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. Happy family, that's my testimonials. And then you can meet me and my lovely 2 ladies that I work with. So there's a WooFoo snapshot. So the important buyer information. So this is the, how to avoid 9 critical traps, 8 steps to buying your first home. Again, this one doesn't really generate a whole lot of business. But it's on there in case they want it. This one does. Okay? What's your home or condo worth? So put your address in. What do you got? Bedrooms, bathrooms, features. Give me some idea of what your house is like. And then move on, right? And then you can select, and the key with forms, don't make it 1 page. So if you make it 1 page, they'll never fill it out. Because they see it and they go, okay, he wants me to do this. Oh, he wants my name, address, and phone number. Crap, I don't want to do that. He's going to call me, right? I don't want to talk to you. But he won't call him. I won't call him, but he'll think I'm going to call him, right? So I don't want to do that. So move on, right? Because you only get like a minute and a half, and then they're gone to some other site. So I have a 3-page step. So the first step is that page, right? There's page 1, right? Give me your address, because I need it to tell you what your house is worth. Bedrooms, bathrooms, etc. Right? Search all. Sorry, that's the house one. This is the buyer one. So this is the first page of the buyer one. Give me your area that you want to buy in. Kitchener, Waterloo. If you can pick them all, you can pick none. Sorry, I didn't do the other 2 slides. And then the second slide says, what type of house you're looking for, what's your time frame, blah blah blah. And then it says submit, and then you get to the 3rd page, and it says, by the way, I need your name, address, phone number, and email address. Well, by then they're too tired because they spent 2.5 minutes filling it out, so they're kind of committed, right? So they fill it out and they commit. Now they don't all do it. My stats are about 75%. So by the time
75% abandonment or 75% filled?
Well, I'll go. So I get 100% to my first page. Okay, I get 92% to my second page. Right? I get 75% to my 3rd page. Right? Because they drop off, right, as you go. But once you get them to the 3rd page, then they can, because they're tired and they want to just fill it out. That's the WooFoo forms. Okay, these are different. This is the seller stuff. This is 1 page, and it just says, for a free, what are we in? May tomorrow? A free May 2014 house price report on Westville house prices. Fill out your name, number, and phone number, and we'll send it right out. And you guys can go there and check it out and see what it looks like. Condo one, obviously. Any questions so far? I've thrown a lot of stuff at you. Nothing? I've convinced you all to do it? Yep.
So the buyer, or the ones where you're doing a CMA, are you giving them a CMA for their house, or you're just giving them data?
Data. Yeah. But in the eyes of Rico, because I got that question when I presented it, there's always one guy, right, in the audience who thinks he's better than everybody else, right, and he can create problems and havoc. So the one guy at Rebar in October, he's like, well, what about Rico and privacy and all that stuff, right? And I went, well, when you go to a listing appointment, are you not providing information on houses that have sold and are for sale in their market area that are similar to their house? Yeah. Okay, is that not what I'm doing? Yeah. Okay, well then why is it against privacy or RICO? And that shut them up. Right? So that's all I'm doing is providing information that they're asking for, but I'm doing it without the having to meet the salesperson guy, which everybody hates, right? Like you go to, who shops for a car on Sundays? Right. You do it because you don't want to talk to the salespeople. Right? Well, the same goes for real estate. They don't want to talk to us. We're the bad guy. Right? Even because it's like we're ranked 1 step above used car salesmen. Right? And below lawyers. Come on. So they don't want to talk to us. But it's our job to get them to talk to us in order for us to make a living. And you have to do that by taking baby steps and not going from, I met you at a bar to getting engaged the next day. you gotta take them from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4, and maybe step 5 varies a bit, and then step 6 varies back. Like, it's hard to say, but at the end of the day, it's your job to lead them through the process. And if you don't lead, if you don't give them the next step, you're going to lose them. And on the internet world, it's not hard to lose them, right? Like, it's like go to an open house, right? It's easy for people to get out, right? They can go out the back door, they can go around the fence, they can wait till you're busy and then leave. Try the internet. Like, you don't even know they're there until they raise their hand, and then they can still disappear. Anything else? Good so far? So your websites. Again, if you have your company branded websites, you don't really have a lot of control over. My advice is stop paying for them, because I'm pretty sure you're paying $50 a month, at least, and they probably don't work. Go to an outside source. If you don't want to do the work yourself, or you don't know how, or whatever, go to an outside source and find another web provider that has better SEO or uses some direct response tools, or allows you to customize it yourself somewhat with their help, so that you can add stuff like this. The Remax Your Online Agents is what my guys, not me, but our office uses. Like, it's just junk. It really is. It doesn't work at all. And you're paying $600 a year for something that doesn't work. But anyway, back to your website. So your front page, now there's my partners, okay? Yogi and Diane. Well, Diane's my buyer agent. That's my front page, okay? That's the most important real estate on your website, okay? The front page, because that's the first thing they see. You're only going to spend a minute and a half on your site, so you got to catch them right off the bat. So I double up, right? 2013 condo Leftport, 2013 neighborhood house price report, and big, huge links right there too, right? It's the only site I have that's branded, okay? Because it's my listing site. It's where I house all my listings. This one I don't pay $18 a month, or $18 a year. I actually pay $15 a month for this one. Well, I guess my 170 is probably wrong. But that's my kwhometeam.ca. That's our shtick, our logo, whatever it is. Protecting the glass advice, right? That's a blog site, and I've changed this. I don't have the header here anymore. Okay, I have a picture of, this is my homes one, so I have a picture of a kitchen and a living room or something now, because I unbranded my 2 other sites. But again, free over the quick home evaluation, and you got your links, right? I got my Twitter stuff on there. I got my follow on Facebook, and I've set up a, We Love Kitchen Waterloo. Like, I know, what's his name? Well, Jeff's got We Love Brantford. Who's got the Burlington one? Sebastian. Yeah, Sebastian's got We Love Burlington. So I set up a We Love Kitchen Waterloo one, right? Because I like to learn from people I know, and I know Sebastian and Jeff very well. I just couldn't think of Sebastian's name. So I've done the same thing. So that follow on Facebook doesn't go to Kitchen Waterloo condo deals anymore. It goes to We Love Kitchen Waterloo. Because it's all a big circle, right? You don't want somebody to get out of the circle. Once they're in the circle, they just keep going around and around. That's the condo one. So again, that's my header. Exactly the same. The sites are exactly the same, except that this one doesn't have houses on it, right? My other one does. And this generates 80% of my leads, this site. Because when people are searching, condos just seems to be a better hook for people. That's it. Sorry, it's been a while since I did this. So, questions? Fire away. An open book. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have listings on those sites?
Yes.
Branded sites?
Yeah. So I didn't take a snapshot of the. Can we get on the line here or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's connected.
Do you want to do it? Yeah. So go to kwcommonslots.com. Yeah, like at the top, I have a home button, right? And then I have condos for sale. I'll show you here. Because a WordPress site is just, I call it a blog site, but it's just a website. It's the same as every other website out there, except that you just build pages. And the pages are what converts the traffic. Okay, so I have a home button. I have search all Kitchen Waterloo condos. So if you were to click on that, right, it would take you to this click here button. That takes you to a Wufoo form, I'm pretty sure. It's been a while. I built these a while ago. So that takes you to a Wufoo form. So there's my Wufoo form. You fill out the neighborhood you want, and then you would click on submit. It would take you to what kind of house you're looking for, what price range, what's your time frame, and then you click on submit, and it would take you to, oh, by the way, I need your name, address, and phone number, right? Or name, email, and phone number, or whatever it is. So that's how that works. Can you go back? So then Kitchen Ward, condos and lots for sale. So you click on that, right? And I got, whatever's for sale. I actually leave a lot of stuff on here that's sold too, right? Because it's great for SEO. Like I'll leave a Kaufman loft on there for years.
You put those on yourself?
Yeah, I have, but it's easy. I drop in a picture, I cut and paste the copy from MLS or wherever. It takes me like 2 minutes.
And then do you provide a link at all to like the?
Yeah. For more information and pics, it takes me back to my website, right? To my house, my listing site. Right. So that takes me back there. Yeah, it's a circle, right? Because again, once they jump out of the circle, they're gone, right? It's the internet. They're gone completely. So you got to keep them in the circle, and you got to link everything back to each other, right? So now can you go back? Yeah. So then aerial loft. So this is stuff like this is great SEO stuff, right? I did 42. So aerial lofts is a new conversion, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. I made $42,000 from that link in the last 2 years. Because I sold 2 aerial lofts in 2012, and I sold 2 aerial lofts last year. And it's new construction, so all I got to do is take the client that I meet at a coffee shop after I talk to them on here, and I walk them over to Aero, sign them up, and walk away.
You said they paid 3%. So.
And I got paid 3% on $300,000 condo. Right? It was $42,000 is what I made from 4 deals from that link. Right? I made $18,000 from a Seagram's Loft double end that I met the seller from and the buyer from my Seagram's link. Right? And it's just a matter of staying in touch. Keep it up. Yep. So we got, City Center is a new construction. It's just started being built. So I'm starting to focus on that kind of stuff too. But my real focus is the 5 loft buildings: Mansion, Aero, Seagram's, Kaufman, and Bauer. There's 200, well, probably more than 200, 300 units in those buildings, and I know them very well. So I guess it's niche marketing, right? It's Adam's niche marketing. I don't need to focus on the whole condo market. I just need to focus on 5 buildings, right? Ian Watt sells real estate in Vancouver, and he sells 2 buildings, and the guy makes tons and tons and tons of money because he owns those 2 buildings, right? So, and then we get into condo investing. You don't need to click on that one, that's okay. And then here's your free condo and loft report, right? So you click on that, and it takes you to all the links. Now, can you click on a link? So that takes you to a landing page, right? 3 pictures of Bauer, free April 2000. So if you go on here tomorrow, it'll say free May 2014, right? But today's April 30th. You're curious about what your Bauer loft may be worth. Here's a new way to find out. Get your free report, blah, blah, blah. Give me your address and phone number, right? Click send.
And I have to add in, it's ugly, but it works.
Yeah.
You
don't have to be pretty.
It's direct response marketing that's written properly. The copy's there and it works. Marion can attest. It works. I can attest. I just did my mailouts. I've got 6 reports in from 750 homes that I mailed out.
Yeah. This is the same stuff that Ryan uses. Okay? I just do it online because guess how much it costs me? 0. Right? Because I'm a cheap bugger, right?
Just one caution, the anti-spam stuff that's coming out says that yes button has to be clickable.
Yeah.
It can't be an automatic yes.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
like if I coming down.
And you can't add them to a drip, just because they're asking for that report.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to add them.
It creeped into the room.
I can. He's the only guy. I can tell you. We're not going to do too much.
Check it out.
There's a buffer zone and there's a bunch of rules that have been in place that our boards has been fighting for. So it's a whole other topic which we need to have that discussion with. But yeah, there are some changes coming.
Yeah, and you know what? At the end of the day, I really don't care for that stuff. Because if someone's going to take me to court, I'm going to be one of 500,000 realtors that are going to take to court. I'm not too concerned about
The
it.
other thing too is it's an opportunity for people who know what is going on. A lot of people get scared because there's new laws coming in. It's actually an opportunity because a lot of agents are not going to be doing stuff online. They're going to be backing off, and they're not going to be following up with people and doing online marketing as much because they're afraid. And if you follow the rules, they have the rules in place. If you go through them, you will have less competition to be going up against.
Yeah, and that anti-spam stuff's it's more designed for email. Like this is an email. They're asking for information. This isn't an email. This comes to me. It doesn't go to them.
Right, and then once you have that, you're
Right. Then my spam, my email is set up that I have it, unsubscribed and all that kind of crap. But that doesn't apply to that. It's not going to them. They're asking for information.
So actually, I have a question about that. So what have you been finding is that doesn't end up in their email box, that they're not receiving, it's ending up in their spam filter or something, and do you care?
Go on, the question.
Does it go to their junk mail?
Does it go through their junk mail? Do they actually?
Well, they don't get that.
No, but when you're responding to them.
When you send that report out, does it end up in their junk?
No, it's not. It's paper.
Oh, okay.
That part.
Yeah, like I try to be a paperless agent. I'm going to work towards that, but I still send out paper.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
I understood you to say that you.
No, I send out a physical
Yeah, okay.
report.
But to answer your question, if you're using a good reputable CRM, content management system, a lot of stuff like MailChimp, if people are using MailChimp, it has built-in spam filter checks, so it'll tell you, is it a good thing? It will get picked up on spam.
Yeah.
You can test.
Yeah, like because I'm always afraid that they're not going to see it, right? So I send out the actual physical report, right? Now I follow up with email.
Monthly?
Yeah. For the first year. And then we just chatted about that at lunch. I just converted, after the first year, I take them off of the every month, and I put them onto my getting the market stats once a month. Because if I'm going to convert them, it's going to happen in the first month or two, right? If it doesn't, then it's probably not going to happen until they're ready. And then my job is just to stay in touch, right? Not actually provide monthly information, because that's a lot of work, right? Time consuming. So I have every month the new stats come out for Kitchener-Waterloo. I do a blog post. So here's the cool thing about using the internet. Think back. Yep. Right, so go back one more. No, right to the home page. Or can you push it on? No, sorry. Put it on here. I'm going to see if there's anything there. There, so April real estate update for Kitchener-Waterloo, a slower March to spring, right? So when I get the stats in, I don't write anything. I just cut and paste them right from the board. So I cut and paste into a blog post. I keyword it so that if people are searching for KW market in April, I'm going to come up. Then I take that link, so I go up here and I cut and paste this copy, this link. I put it write an email to my clients. Hi, thanks, just want to stay in touch, just let you know what's happening in April. If you have any questions or want more specific pricing, give me a call, right? I put that into my CRM. I send all of them out at once, and I cut and paste this link so when they want to know what the stats are, they got to go back to my website, right? Which reinforces me again, right? It's just not an email. You're going back to my site, right? And I use the housing site. I don't use the condo site. A lot of my clients have houses too, right? So that's what's nice about being able to use a blog site, because you can use it more than just a company website, right?
Can I ask about demographics? So if you look at some of this technology and that's beyond people, I would say, in their late 60s. So if you're target marketing an older age group, maybe a building or something like that, do you find that there's a difference in the response numbers you get?
Nope. So my $18,000 of commission I made on Seagram's Loft, the seller was 69 years old, and the buyer was from Toronto. Right? Neither person I would have met in a social circle, right? They were retiring and moving to a nursing home. The buyer was a Chinese doctor looking for a place for her daughter to live in because she's got more money than she knows what to do with. So I met her because she asked for a report on Seagram's. Because the same report for buyer and seller are the same. They're just asking for it for their own purposes, right? So they ask because they want to know what stuff we're selling for, right? And as a good agent, I'm going to provide my buyers with information on what sale prices are so they can make educated decisions on buying a unit, right? So I gave her a report. I gave them a report. They called me up. Well, actually, she called me first. And we started showing her units, but they weren't in the pipeline yet, right? So I showed her some units. I showed her different buildings and stuff, and then they couldn't find anything they liked, so they were just waiting. Meanwhile, these guys, the sellers came in. I sent them some information. I went out. I was competing with 4 other agents, and one of their really good friends was an agent. And I was competing with all of those agents plus a really good friend. And they decided to list with me because of my marketing, right? Because I could online and all that kind of stuff. And then once I got the listing signed, I connected the buyer and the seller. Right? So that's, so totally different demographics, right? 7 years old, 40-year-old, Toronto resident, right? Totally different. I wouldn't have met them otherwise.
I want to add to you're asking about the older demographics. Even if people aren't online or using it as frequently if they're older, they have younger people in their families that are. My parents are shopping for a car right now. I'm online looking for them for cars and going, oh, Mom, here, check this out, check this car. So I'm looking for her, I'm finding stuff, and I'm tech savvy enough, and I go, here, Mom, check out this car.
Yeah.
They went out and
Like I do get a lot of, like my Keatsway condo that I sold, 2 mathematicians, 22 years old, Mom and Dad from China bought them the unit. Again, more money than they know what to do with. 22 years old, both math grads from U of W. Anal, right? And they filled out a Keatsway report. I sent it out to them. They pulled me in to interview. I was competing with 5 agents that time too. And I convinced them that I was the best agent for the job. And we listed it, right? Took a little while to sell because their pricing was a bit high. But we sold it, and then I did a referral to Scarborough, and my referral check was $6,000 because they bought a $900,000 house. So I made $12,000 on the Keatsway deal, and I made $6,000 on the referral, right? And just from that, but like this is great for generating leads, but it's also a marketing tool. Like my whole marketing proposal when I go to a listing appointment is based around this, right? And oftentimes, like Yogi lost a listing yesterday. She went to an appointment on Monday, and for whatever reason, I didn't go with her. And she found out this morning that she lost it to another agent, right? And I said, well, why didn't you bring me with me? Because she can't talk about this stuff, because this is what I do. But we're still part of a team, right? But the sellers picked the other agent because she was a bit younger, she was a little bit more, tech savvy, a little more geographically located. And maybe we wouldn't have got it anyway, but we might have a better chance if I went on with her, right? So it's not just about lead generation. You can incorporate everything I do into your listing presentation too.
And again, it doesn't have to be all online. You can do direct response marketing offline. That's why I'm doing postcards, same concept, drive a postcard to a single page website. You don't have to have anything fancy. And I generated, because I door knocked, I got 34 people on my requested newsletter from 750 homes.
Yeah, and I don't, like my listing presentation isn't just online. Like we do Kitchener-Waterloo Record advertising and This Week in Real Estate advertising, which is weekly paper advertising. I don't like it. It's $15,000 a year, right? I can spend a lot of money on pay-per-click for that, right? I don't do pay-per-click, but I could, and generate 100,000 times more leads than that paper would. But Yogi likes it. Like I'm partners too, right? So I got to kind of appease the old school too. So, and the sellers like it, right? The sellers expect to see their house in the paper. So we kind of have to do a little, because everybody's not ready to change yet. So you got to keep them happy, right? Got to keep Yogi happy, right? You know, she's not my wife. She's my business partner. We've been partners for 12 years, so it's a good relationship. But yeah, this is a big chunk of my listing presentation, and this is what sells the sellers. This is why they use me, not because I have an ad in the paper, because everybody does.
So you've actually never called the people that wanted to list in that condominium. You just email back and forth and.
Well, once they reach out, I will call. Yeah, like it's not like I'm never going to talk to you. Yeah, like I'm a salesperson, right? You can't sell on email.
Right.
Yeah, but I never, if you fill out a report, I'm not going to call you.
Right.
I'm going to send out the report, I'll follow up with an email, right? 7 days later, make sure you got the report, blah, 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 blah. Any questions, blah, blah, blah. And then every month I send out some stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a year or two down the line, maybe you'll call, maybe you won't. I don't know. If I see it come up for sale, I take them off the list, right? Like you guys all have, I'm sure you guys have friends and family that have listed with somebody else. Maybe not family, but friends, right? That list with somebody else for some reason. You take them off your database, right?
And family.
What's that?
And family.
And family too. So, I know who's in my pipeline. I have a good idea of the hour. Like I got to, mine like a trap. So I don't forget a lot, but, I know who's in there, and if I see it come up, I'll double check, make sure the address is right, and if it's not, I'll take it off. But, like Patrick Quo, right? I told you about him on the card.
Oh, yeah.
So, Chinese guy, I have no idea how old he is, never met him. He emailed me for a Kaufman Loft report 2.5 years ago, I think, something like that. And I sent it out, and I've been keeping in touch ever since, right? Patrick called me last week, says I'm ready to list. Great. I said, your phone number is really weird. Where are you from? I live in California. Oh, okay, great. So how would I have met Patrick if I wasn't doing this? Because he lives in California, right? Now, I used to live here, and he used Kelly DaCosta to sell his house. And I said, well, and I'm always honest, like, why aren't you using Kelly again, right? Maybe that's the wrong thing to ask. But. And he said, well, he doesn't know the condo market as well as you do. And I went, well, that's true, right? I have no idea if that's or not. But I said, well, that's true, right? I'm going to agree with him, right? So, but maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Who cares? He thinks I know the condo market better than Kelly DaCosta. So he's going to list with me, right? And I never would have met him otherwise. But that 2.5 years, right? So what did it cost me for that lead? Like it cost me, maybe $2 to send out the initial report? And that's when he lived in town, because he lived on Dansbury in Waterloo. So $2 to send the report, and then a year times 80 cents for the printing and the postage. So what's that, another $8? So $10, and then after that I put him on the email list. So it cost me $10. What's the last print advertising cost you, right, to get a lead? And it took me 2 years, but that's okay. I'm ready whenever they're there.
So when you're sending the report on specific condo buildings, like for monthly,
Yeah.
what do you send, like the actual?
My initial report has everything that's currently for sale and active in the building.
Okay.
In the last, because it's a condo, they're all close, right? So I'll send the last 8 months, 6-8 months. And then every month I send what's
So
changed.
you send all the MLS listings kind of thing? Or?
I send consumer copy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no names and stuff, just
Right.
the consumer version. And then every month I send what's changed. If I don't send the sold again, I just send what's sold since that last time I
Right.
sent it, and what's active, right? And then same, until 12, until I hit the 12th month. And then I say, okay, well, I'm done with that. I'm going to put you on my, that's fine. The April, what the market stats for April, right? Because I'm just staying in touch now. They don't need the information anymore until they're ready.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just staying in touch. Yeah.
So when you're doing it every month and sending what's sold, because you don't keep sending the same stuff, you send only what's sold since, are you physically going in there and sending that every time, or is it automatic?
Nope. I physically go in. Yeah, that's why it's a little bit time consuming, that part.
But if you have an assistant, you can get someone to do that. And
Yeah.
You know you're going to do it at the beginning of the month or whenever it is. You do it at the exact same time, so you block a couple hours, first of the month, last of the month, whatever you're going to do it, and just...
Yeah, it does. If I had to sit down and do all the leads, maybe 2 hours a month. Maybe. It doesn't take long, right? I go in there, I go into my CRM, and they're not all on the same day, right? They're going to pop up, hey, John Doe gets Kaufman Loft report.
So you have an alert that tells you?
Yeah, I use the CRM, right? Client
right.
retention
Yeah,
manager,
that's
right? Top producer, I use exact contact.
Yeah.
It just says, okay, this is what my daily list looks like. Okay, I got 3 reports to do, right? So this report, I go into Kaufman, click on the dates. Okay, there's 6 listings. So I print them up in consumer copy, 3 to a page, because it's easier on paper, right? Because I'm a cheap bugger, right? So 3 to a page, and then I print up a front page, right? I have 12 front pages printed up. Here is your April 2014 report. Here's your May 2014 report. I have them all printed up in my Word document. I just go in there, change the name, right, print it up, put it together, put it in a white envelope, write their address on it, put a stamp on it. Yeah. And then after the 12th month, I stop, and they go on to email. Right? Because again, I could do it for 5 years and they'll never call me. But if they're not doing it the first 2-3 months, usually 2 months, then they're not ready. They're way too early in the process, right? And that's you know, when I started talking about this to people and teaching it, that's where I'm at. I build my business. I want to catch them here at point A, right? Because when you're selling your house, you're not going to go, oh, hi, honey, I think we should sell our house. Let's get on the market tomorrow. You know, you go, well, you know what, George, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, maybe we should move, you know, kids are getting bigger, kids are getting smaller, downsize, upsize, whatever it is. All right, you know, I really like bungalows, or I want to move to a condo, or whatever. You don't decide that today and then do it tomorrow. You decide that a year or 18 months ahead of time, right? You start talking about it, right? So, the internet, what do? You go online and start researching, right? Well, that's where I catch you. Right? So now I've caught Patrick Quo when he was just starting to think about it because it was an investment property for him. And I've kept in touch, and now he's ready. Right? Mary and Stephen Lasperance, I've had them in the pipeline for 2.5 years, 3 years, and they weren't ready. But now they are, right? They have a $700,000 house in Lackner Woods, right? And they're looking to buy a $500,000 to $600,000 bungalow. Well, that's $1.3 million in real estate. You know, and 2.5%, even 2%, $26,000, right? Because I kept in touch. So I catch them really early in the process, right? And I have a huge advantage over all you if I was working the Burlington market because they already know, like me, and trust me, right? They're going to meet you at an open house. They don't know you at all, right? So, how's the pitch you, Lynn?
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Question? More questions? Yeah.
You mentioned before we pay $10 for a domain and $18 a point. What do you mean by it?
Well, so go to GoDaddy,
Yeah,
right? You can get it actually probably cheaper than $10. So go, you know, you want to buy Burlington real estate. You won't, but probably already got. But you want to buy burlingtonrealestate.com. So you go to GoDaddy and you buy that domain name. Okay, so I bought Kitchener-Waterloo or kwcondosanдлofts.com. Okay, pretty simple, right? So it cost me $10, right? Then to point it, WordPress charges you $18 to point that domain name to their website.
So he's hosting on WordPress.org. It's not.
Yourself.
Oh. Yeah, I don't use WordPress.org.
Oh, you don't
No,
know.
yeah, because .org costs money, right? And you guys are going to say, well, you don't own it then. I've been doing this for 4 years. I've used 2% of my allowable usage. Right? And I got tons of videos, and it's all links. I'm not hosting anything on there, right? I'm just linking everything. So there's tons of room. So whether you use WordPress.com, which is free, or WordPress.org, which you have to pay somebody to host, that's totally up to you.
So you use .com, which is free, but you have to pay $18 a year.
Yeah, it's $18 to point the domain name to that.
Use CNAME and GoDaddy? No.
Sorry?
You should just change your CNAME and GoDaddy.
CNAME?
Yeah.
He's our tech ambassador.
Yeah, well, I'm not techy.
I can tell you, he's not techie. He built these.
I may sound techy, but I'm not techy. No, I'm a conceptual thinker.
Okay.
Okay.
I saw that when he told you to go put the website on the laptop. It said for somebody who's doing a tech presentation, you seem to be avoiding the actual nuts and bolts.
Well, I know how to use a website. No, it's easier for me to talk while he does it, though.
But you're not a.
No, if you tell me to fix your computer, I'll say, well, good, call the computer guy. Right? Like, you know, or the C, whatever the hell you're talking about. I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about. Right? But I think in conceptual terms, right? And I took some time. I learned how to build a website. I learned how to use WordPress. Right? It takes time to learn it. Right? I use it, direct response, all those kind of things. But no, I'm not techy at all.
It's definitely worth putting some time into learning it.
Yeah.
Well, it's up to you. You can pay somebody to do it. Like I said, you can pay somebody or you can do it yourself, right? I just chose to spend, my Thursday evenings instead of watching Survivor. I watch Survivor too, but I have my computer on and I'm learning stuff like this, right? Like I said, I day trade the stock market during the day. Well, that took me a year to learn how to do that, right? And I make money at doing it. But it took me a year of spending time sitting in front of Survivor learning how to trade. So, because this is up and running, this is built, right? So I don't need to do any more with this other than just feed it.
What is your conversion rate for something like this? So let's say you get for 1,000 clicks.
Well, we talked about hits. I hate that word. Hits are how idiots track sales.
No, I'm not asking to track sales because there's follow-up questions beyond this that actually gets down to what you actually have to drive to something like this in order to get.
So if every lead I get, what's my conversion ratio?
Work it backwards. For a deal, would you need 20 leads in the pipeline? Would you need 50 leads? Would you need 2?
No, it wouldn't be nice 20. Well, that'd be 1 out of 20s, yeah. I'd say it's probably about 25%.
25%?
Yeah, but again, it's not today, right? Like they'll convert at some point.
Yeah.
Right? Like I have leads in there that have been there for 3.5 years that still haven't converted. But I also convert leads that happen in a month.
So, okay, so let's say you have 30,000 people in the pipeline.
I don't know that. No, nowhere near. I don't even have 1,000.
Okay, so then there's 1,000 people that are there.
Yeah.
Would you expect that every one of those 1,000 people is going to eventually at some point do business?
No.
And so, okay, what's the percentage?
No, but it depends what you're talking about. If you're talking about this, my conversion for that is better than my conversion for that.
Yeah.
Right? Like your sellers are always going to convert better than your buyers. Right? So you talk about what's your conversion rate for buyers? I'd probably say between 8 and 10%.
Okay.
My conversion rate for sellers, probably between 20 and 25.
So 100 people come to that site, 25 are going to do business eventually.
Yeah.
Not come to site, but register.
No, register.
We're registered for.
Okay, so let's keep working backwards then.
Yeah, but you have no idea how many people come. I'm not technically.
Because he's not doing physical ads and that kind of stuff. His is organic, so he's just getting.
Yeah, I can track
You can trade
where people are coming into it,
Yeah.
but I can't track where they're from.
Well, all you need is just how many. All I'm asking is how many of there are there?
Oh, I get how many hits?
Yeah.
50 to 60 a day.
50 to 60 a day. So, and of those, how many?
On my condo site.
How many of those will fill out the form?
Well, not that many. Right?
I'm just trying to
I
get.
don't know.
I'm just trying to get a grasp of it, like.
I
So
don't
to get
know.
on page 1 for Google, which is how
How
this
about
is
less?
driven.
I'll just give you an easy answer. Less than 1%.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Right?
It works like that.
The naysayers are coming in. See ya.
I'm not a naysayer, I'm just wondering, so if I came into kitchen water,
Yeah.
how do I stand a chance? How do I create my own niche, or find my own niche to compete with? So, and then flip side of that, say we all decide, let's all do this here.
Yeah.
How do we all win?
Well, you pick what you're interested in. So if your interest is condos, then focus on that. If your interest is two specific buildings, then focus on that, right? Like Adam picked 250 homes that he felt was unmarketed to, right? You know, Ryan picked 1,000 homes that he knew a conversion rate was 11%. So you have to pick maybe it's single women, maybe it's seniors, maybe it's whatever, right? People who like to knit, I don't know.
But you've got pretty much all of it captured there. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm just one player, right? There's
But you're
other.
still number one. You're telling us you're number one on
For those.
No, not on every page. I'm number one for Seagrams.
Okay.
But if you search Kaufman Loss, I won't be number one on the page. I'll be on the first page, but there's 12 positions on the first page.
And that's timing as well. You may start at 12, and then as you get better and you add more content, you grow it, you get bumped up.
Yeah, like every time I check, I'm always on the first page. But then probably there's times where I'm not. Right? You're always moving. Right? Sometimes I'm first, sometimes I'm on the bottom, sometimes I'm in the middle, sometimes I have 2, sometimes I have 3. Sometimes I'm on page 2. Right? But it's conceptual. It's, okay, how are you going to grab the traffic? When you get the traffic, what are you going to do with it? And then when you get them from that, what are you going to do with it?
Right. If I can add one thing to it, 99% of realtors aren't going to do this. They're not going to spend the time. They're not going to set up the website. They're not going to
Oh, I
the
know.
area. They're not going to farm it. They're not
Right.
going to do that. So Kevin just gave this to 25 people. Maybe one will go back and do something with this.
Maybe one.
So
Yeah.
it's there. It's there for the taking. You can pick it. You can get your business out of it. There's however many thousands of deals that we do in Burlington every year. You can get your piece if you do it. If you choose not to, then I'll get it, or Marion will get it, or Adam will get it, or whoever else will get it. It's finding that finding that hole in the market.
Sebastian and his wife make a very good living from WeLoveBurlington.com.
Oh, it's
Burlington
Burlington
Or sorry, BurlingtonLifestyle.com, right? Like, that's just their way of doing it. It's online. It's just their way of doing it because they create a
And
community.
it's just the keywords that they're using and everything that's driving it to them. So if
Yeah.
I found other ones that are more the combination of keywords that drive it to me.
Yeah, like maybe you want to
then I'm
focus.
different.
Maybe you want to focus on nurses because you used to be a nurse in a past life, right? And you want to focus on that market because you understand what those people are looking for. Right? Nurseslooking4homes.com. Like you can do whatever.
I'll give you the sales pitch. Go to theNicheAgent.com, which is my blog and podcast, and you can learn all about finding your niche and mastering it. So.
Yeah, like it's just about niche.
Yeah, no, I
There's a pitch
understand.
coming somewhere.
But like this condo site, this wasn't my first site. But when I designed KW Real Estate Life, I thought, oh, I got to revamp my business somehow, and I'm going to design a blog site where I can talk about Kitchener-Waterloo and its community. That was my initial intention, right? So I created KWRealEstateLife.com, and I did it for about 2 months, and I realized this isn't working, right? Nobody wants to talk to me. So I thought, well, how am I supposed to do that? So I Googled some stuff, and I realized that direct response was a great way to do it, and I hooked up to some other people, and started talking, and then I started doing direct response. And then about 6 months in, I went, okay, all my traffic's coming in on the condo side. Because I can see what people are searching, what the words they're searching, right? Like condos in Kitchener, Seeker's Lost, and they were all coming in on the condo side. So I thought, well, I should just design a condo site that's just specifically for condos. That's when the business took off, right? Like I did very little before that, but that's where the inverted spike came, right? Because now my keywords are important. It's a condo-only site, right? I'm branded, so I'm not going, pick me, because I'm the best realtor in the world, right? I'm just saying, here's information that I can give you for free, and all I ask is for your name, address, and phone number. Right? So you have to pick what you want to do.
No,
I
I'm
love-
a proponent of this. I mean, that's what I.
And it's really funny because I do a lot of business in the condo market, and I hated condos. Hated them. Yogi would ask me to do an open house on a condo, and I don't want to do that. I hate them. And now that's the majority of my business, right? But I don't focus on the townhouse crap. I focus on the buildings,
Hey,
the lots.
houses are mine.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not. You know what I mean? Like I don't deal with the little ugly townhouses that, like yours are new. But you know what I mean? I focus on the lot buildings because that's where the excitement is, right? That's where I create both demographics. I get the young people, I get the older people, right? But I still have a house site. I still get people who live in Westville, want a Westville report, right? And that's just one side of my business, right? I have a whole realtor referral network that I built through Facebook, right? I have a whole repeat and referral side of my business. So it's not just this. It's like you have to be multifaceted in this business, and if you think you're going to make all your money from one condo building, you're not, right? You have to have all the parts. It just takes time.
So your house site and your condo site, the only way they connect is on your homepage. There is no link between the two.
There used to be. Yeah, I used to have, on the bottom right-hand corner of both sites, I would have a link back to the other site. I stopped doing it. Yeah, because I linked it to Facebook instead. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Can you go down? I'm not sure it's still there. No, no, it's gone. I used to have, click on the community, yeah, let's click on here. No, that's yeah. Yeah, so it goes to Wheel Kitchener. And I haven't been on there in a while either. I've been lazy. Got some other stuff I've been dealing with, but yeah, that used to go back to the other. So the house or condo used to flip back and forth. Then I built the WeLoveKitchenerWaterloo.com, and so they all link there. That's my new project. Right?
Yeah.
So, all right, questions? No other questions?
Thank you.
You guys learned something?
Yes.
Thank you, Kevin.